Welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. Hi, it's me, your friend Corey, here today with a little bit of amigurumi. Oh my gosh, so much to talk about and so little time. It's been so busy lately. Anyways, glad you're here today and let's get stitching. Hello. Okay, I'm just working on Garfield. This Garfield is laying on his stomach, legs spread, tail out, goofy looking face. My son loves that particular guy. He's really excited for it. The gifts went over amazing. He is so happy. He was so pleased with Sandy, the chipmunk. Plankton, because now he's pretty much got all the SpongeBob characters. I did not make him SpongeBob because he actually already has 2 store-bought SpongeBobs. But I probably will at some point just to complete the set. It feels unfinished. The nurse loved her. Absolutely loved her, because he was sitting beside me when I made her, and he was super curious as to what I'm making with female body parts. And it turns out that he absolutely loves the figure, loved the size of it, loved the dark, dreary feel of it, and is really looking forward to me splattering it with blood and muddy bits and all that kind of good stuff with paint to make it look a little more distressed than it already does. But I'll probably do that in the next couple days. Film it, maybe, maybe not. I do have to make an acorn, what do you want to call it, badge for Sandy the chipmunk with felt. I just found the bag of felt scraps yesterday. Been busy, like super busy. Excuse me. My nose is feeling a little bit runny. I think I'm catching a bit of a spring cold. My daughter got attacked with the crazy sneezes last night, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, that is 1 row. Aren't we excited? I got 1 row done. Yay! Only 6 more to go. I haven't been doing very much of the amigurumi for the past 2 days. I needed to give my fingers a break. Squidward, the green one, from the last video. Oh my gosh, that particular one was so hard to sew together. My stitching was so tight that I was having the worst time getting that needle through, and I tried other ones. It just was a lot. Even with a thimble that I tried later off camera, I still was feeling it. My tips of my fingers are a little bit iffy. I have been doing a whole bunch of organizing on my days where I haven't really been crocheting, simply to give my hands a little break because, you know, I went a little crazy and neglected the house a bit. I will admit it. My house is looking a little wild, but it is also spring break, so I'm just allowing the kids to have some fun. My living room has a gorgeous little fort, and the art area is now a fort right now. There are toys everywhere. It is what it is, and it will get straightened up in the next couple days, little by little. Yesterday, and the day before that, I was actually working in my closet. I took the dresser that I had upstairs that I had scrap material in, brought it down, put my clothes in it because I haven't had a dresser for a while. I gave up mine for my daughter simply because she ran out of room in hers for her clothing. She had too much. So I don't have that much, so I just took mine out and gave her mine. And I still had too much to go in where she had, so I had them in boxes in my closet. I couldn't get in my closet. It was just a whole thing. So I finally bit the bullet, brought down that other dresser that we have upstairs that my son didn't want anymore, and basically emptied out my closet, vacuumed it all out, and put it in there. Now, then I had to put the boxes back, and I realized some of these boxes are fairly light. So I start peeking in some of them. These are my doom boxes. I call them doom boxes because, you get to your point of your cleaning where you see that last box and it's full of random stuff. You're not sure what to do with it, and you're too tired to bother with it, so you just say, I'll do this another day. Well, yesterday was the next time I had a chance to do it. Made myself. I actually downsized 7 whole boxes out of my closet. 1 bag of garbage, 1 bag of recycling, and a big box full of boxes for recycling. So I was really happy with that. So extremely pleased that I followed through with my goal, because I want my closet to be a lot more functional, and it's bothering me how untidy it is and how hard it is to find what I want to find. Alrighty, so we're just going to continue with this, see if I can see what I'm doing. Sorry, I got interrupted again for toys. I'll say again. To me, it's again. To you, you probably didn't even notice. It's fine. It's fine. Just change my camera angle just a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this still, and I am just all over the place. I was able to, however, in my organizing melee yesterday, find some of those little, when you have the shelves and you got those little metal bits and they sit there inside the hole and that's where the shelf sits on. I needed a couple for a couple of my shelves and I didn't know where they were, and I finally found them. They were not with my tools where they were supposed to be. That's why I couldn't find them. But to be fair, the biggest box that I started with yesterday was actually cleaned out of my laundry room 2 years ago. So that's why that would be in my closet, not out in my laundry room where I keep all my tools. No. I have a secret bedroom stash because, sometimes my tools go missing. I can't tell you how many times I've had to buy a small hammer. Sorry, just got a message from my daughter if you heard that. Terribly sorry about that. Okay. Daughters want to hang out today, so I want to get my videos done so I can give them some time and attention and we can do something cool. Maybe take a walk or something. Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to throw in our walk at the bird park the other day. So, we'll see if you can see me or not. I might just half and half. I don't know how I'm going to put it on the screen, but it's a very lovely park. It is just down from a highway, and being that it's spring, everything is just starting to wake up. So there's not a lot of greenery, but this is what it looks like when it's first starting to become alive. There are turtle ponds, we have weeping willows. They had to take out quite a few because they keep on, quite a few of them have aged out, meaning that they just aren't doing well. They end up so big and heavy, they end up breaking in windstorms and stuff like that. But they're very, very conscious of how their trees are doing. They're in there all the time. This group that takes care of this wildlife, the game and fishery group that's in the community, they fund everything for it. They have cameras in there because people were trying to start fires and just do silly things in there at night. So now they have cameras in there, and that's a-okay. But it is a beautiful place to take your children to learn, or if you wanted to go somewhere that's fairly peaceful when the trees are in full bloom with all their leaves. It really muffles the highway that's just up from there. But this is why I get to see things like owls on my patio. Late at night, if I'm out there, they will come and land right there and stare at you. It's the coolest thing. You're sitting there listening to some music, enjoying the nice quiet evening after a long hot day, and all of a sudden there's an owl just chilling there. like 2 feet away from you, just staring at you, and you're staring at him. It's like, wow, this is some intense nature, and it's beautiful. It's just gorgeous. I hope most people have something like this nearby that they can go and enjoy all over the place, but I know a lot of people live in concrete jungles and stuff, and I'm not sure how they handle these kind of things. Do they keep it on the outskirts or that kind of thing? But my community is fairly rural, and it's getting a little less rural, but that's fine. People are starting to move here, thinking that they can turn it into where they came from, which is sad, but understandable in some ways. And by people, I mean people from other regions nearby that want to turn this into more of like the city they're from. As in, I remember being at a nightclub, and these guys came from one of the bigger cities nearby, and they were pretty upset there wasn't valet service, and we're like, I don't think you quite understand where you are, sir. Yeah. It was quite the mix. Or the gentlemen that come from these cities, and they come to this area, and they assume all the ladies are going to be super impressed with the fact that they live in a city. Okay. Your city is not that far away, and it's not like we couldn't go there if we wanted to. Maybe some of us are not impressed by that. I don't know. It was just a weird night. And when the girl beat him up... Anyway, never mind. That particular gentleman was quite rude, and he was removed from the said premise by a lady, and it was pretty funny. She did not take kindly to his behavior. Nobody else did either, but she was the first one to grab a hold of him and physically drag him up by the cuff of his neck and toss him down some stairs, and he slipped and fell. But to be fair, it all started because he decided to attack someone from behind because no one was interested in his spiel, and he hurt an innocent person really badly, actually, so he was arrested. It was quite the night. I just stopped in for a drink after my shift at one of the local coffee places, so the police knew I was on, and they were like, hey, how's it going? Because I'd already served them coffee earlier when they dropped by for a check-in, get a coffee on one of their little mini breaks. Anyway, small town gossip, what can you do? But this park is gorgeous. It's got garter snakes, it's got bugs galore. One thing I didn't film that I kind of regret is I found this amazingly busy mound of red and black ants. Like, they were half red, half black, and they were swarming this little area. It was actually full out moving because there were so many of them. I don't know what they were on top of, but it must have been something delicious or whatever, or they were making a new one. Couldn't tell you. I was not going to get any closer than that because I don't want to make some angry ants crawl up my leg. No, I'm good. But it was a lovely day for a walk. And we're getting to that time of year where my favorite time for walking besides fall, because it's not too hot, it's pleasant, and I get to see everything new starting to grow, which is one of my favorite things about spring, is the whole renewal, regrowth, which is great. And yes, my son had a great birthday. Spaghetti and meatballs made by Mom. A whole bunch of crochet stuff for him. He got some really nice hand lotion. I know that sounds like a weird thing, but my son really has, he's a dishwasher for the most part. And they're getting him on cooking every so often. Slowly but surely, they're training him up so he can be a little more, I get more hours and stuff throughout the summer and help them out. So it's a win-win, but his hands really get dried out and really sore when he works a lot, so we've been looking for some really good lotions and stuff like that, and they're fairly expensive. Like, this little tiny bottle that's only like that big is almost $20 for it, but it works like a charm. So What are you going to do? All right. And I think it's food safe if I remember correctly, because I know the ones that were food safe and extra strong are definitely a little more on the pricey side. All right, this is my last row for his leg. So he's not huge like my other ones. I didn't make all massive ones this time. Just the one, Sandy, she was the biggest. I possibly might make Squidward again in a thicker yarn to make him match up the sizes to the other ones. But the little one was definitely the face. By the time I was done, it was pretty darn good. I have to say I did really well with it, and I really like his face. And now all my kids want Squidward, so he was not the easiest one to make, that's for sure. But that was probably because the materials that I had in those colors were so much thinner. So I'll be looking for those colors for sure, and see about making a bigger one, maybe? Maybe. It's hard to say. I don't really like doing the same patterns over and over, but sometimes it's okay. Loaf cats. I made so many of those. I couldn't tell you how to make a loaf cat off the top of my head, but I know it would come back real quick. They're cute. My daughter's friends all got one last year, but I want to make something else. Alrighty. And that is our last row. Last couple stitches. Nice and beautiful. Yeah, I went to stitch yesterday, and I could not stitch amigurumi. My hands could not do it. They just did not have it in them. So I added some stuffing, and that's pretty much it. I got one more row to do, and it's a decrease row, so I would need to count, and yeah. Thanks for joining me here at All the Crackers in the Box, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.